I usually keep things tight with 3 stories, but today I got a bonus one at the end that I just couldn't bring myself to cut. So stick around. It's worth it. Hey, I'm Steve, and this is Good Morning Wake County, where we skip the noise and start your day with stories that matter, the kind that make you proud to live right here. It's easy to talk about second chances when you've never needed one. What if the first chance never came? Brandon Lowery walked out of prison with nothing but a borrowed truck, a mower, and a little bit of hope. Not even his own. He started by cutting grass for free just to prove he could. Then he knocked on a neighbor's door and pointed to that fresh trim. "Hey, I did that." He'd say, "Would you like yours done too?" From that shaky start came something sturdy. 13 years later, he owns 2 businesses in Pittsboro. Yeah, I know that's not in Wake County, but he owns BLLC Landscaping and Royal Touch Mobile Detailing. That's not bad for a guy who learned to build patios from YouTube. It's not bad for someone who started with 4 tools and a willingness to try. So just a few weeks ago, Brandon stood in front of 50 men inside of Sanford Correctional Center. That's southwest of Raleigh. All of them staring down the next question. What do I do next when I get out? That visit was part of Inmates to Entrepreneurs, a program founded here in Wake County, right in Holly Springs. It's now helping people across the state rebuild, not with handouts, but with hand tools and hard-won hope. Brandon kept it simple. "I'm not rich," he said, "but I'm good." And then he got real practical. A rake, a blower, print some business cards, post them at the gas station, rent a U-Haul. Forget the LLC, just get your first customer. Because for a lot of folks leaving prison, the hardest part isn't starting a business. It's believing that you're allowed to. And that's something Charles McQuaig understands deeply. He's a friend of mine and a former corrections sergeant in Durham County. He's got 14 years behind the wire. And today he calls Wake County home. It's not just about opportunity. It's about whether anyone ever believed in you in the first place.
In order to have a good day, you have to give respect to earn respect.
That idea of giving respect before you can earn it, man, that is an idea you can just feel settle. One of the men listening that day was Dominique Lambreth. He's getting out in 20 days. Nervous, hesitant, and hopeful, but he said something that hit hard. "I can't be afraid of failure if I'm starting low." But fear doesn't always leave quietly. What really holds people back isn't just doubt. It's doing it alone.
Well, in my experience, I think the hardest part, I would say, Steve, is having the support. And I've heard of a lot of them being scared to change their habits and their mind thought and their paradigm.
And that fear, it's real. Especially when going back to what you know feels safer than risking something new.
It's easy to go back to what you know, the habit of what you've come up through, not want to take a chance on yourself.
And Charles reminds us, none of us are so far removed.
We have to humble ourselves because we're only one step from making a mistake like some of these incarcerated people have been. We're only one step. And so if we humble ourselves more and have more love and more compassion, I think our mindset would change towards people that are giving people a second chance.
And then there was inmate David Harris, who summed up what made that day so different. They didn't come to talk about investment capital. They kept it simple, right down in the dirt. Brandon Lowery doesn't smoke anymore, doesn't drink, doesn't go out late. His old self might have called him lame. But now, he calls it peace, a house, a job, a life, 4 kids, and something that can't be bought. A future that started with a borrowed mower and someone who believed he could begin again. And Charles? Well, he'll tell you. You don't have to be perfect to be a role model. Just present and just honest. Because belief, real belief, might be the tool that matters most. If this already feels worth your time, boop that like button, give it a little love. It helps more folks find this. And I really could use some reviews on Apple Podcast. You can also visit tapyournews.com to sign up for the free daily email, suggest a town we should cover, or just send me a message. This summer didn't roll in slow and sweet. Now it's coming in hot. Came in like a teenager late for curfew, loud, fast, and leaving folks sweat-soaked and scrambling. But for some Wake County neighbors, heat isn't just uncomfortable. It's downright dangerous. And that's where Cool for Wake comes in. A seasonal relief program run by the county for seniors, chronically ill residents, and families with young kids. Since May 1st, they've fielded over 100 calls. That's not a number, that's a signal. People are suffering. I've seen what he can do. As a former first responder and search and rescue pilot with the Wake Forest Fire Department, I've been inside homes where people were doing everything they could to survive one more day without AC. I've seen desperation that looked a lot like heat stroke and sounded a lot like fear. Right now, they've got fans to give out, but what they really need are air conditioners. So far, just one new unit has been donated, and that was until the Raleigh Regional Association of Realtors, their giving network, stepped up with 40 more. Well done. And if you want to help but don't have a spare AC unit sitting in your garage, a new one, a good one, here's an easier way. Financial donations can be made online by visiting this website, wake.gov/coolforwake. As soon as this podcast is over, I know I'm making a donation. Even a small gift might keep someone out of the ER, or even keep them alive. Because the heat is here and coming fast, but so is the help. And in Wake County, that's just how we roll. We don't wait for disaster. We cool it down together. Over on Tingen Road in Apex, there's a garden where something more than vegetables is growing. Simple Gifts Community Garden started in 2009 on borrowed land, and for 13 years, they fed food pantries, brought flowers to shut-ins, and hosted those kinds of summer nights that end with sticky fingers and laughter. Tomato sandwich nights, watermelon seed spitting contest. It was exactly what it sounded like. Joy rooted in dirt. And then the woman who lent them the land passed away. The garden lost its home. Beds were torn down, soil hauled away, hopes packed up in wheelbarrows. But gardeners know something many of us forget. Loss is part of the cycle, and sometimes it's just compost for what comes next. In 2023, the YMCA of the Triangle offered a new half-acre home. Volunteers came back, they rebuilt the beds, they started again. Now in its third season, it's thriving, organically grown, mostly donated, and full of pollinator beds buzzing with life. You'll see purple coneflowers, daisy-shaped native blooms with lavender petals and orange, spiky centers. They're tough, beautiful, and built to serve bees and butterflies. Hey, there's a kids' table with pollinator games, a plant sale, garden tours, and maybe a little lemonade and chalk on the sidewalk. So this Saturday, May 31st, from 10 a.m. to 12:30, go visit. It's at 3109 Tingen Road in Apex. That's right near 540 and Route 1. Because this garden, it didn't just grow food, it rerouted a purpose. And here's that bonus story I promised. Cary may soon be home to North Carolina's first standalone children's hospital, a 500-bed campus over 100 acres big. Right near the SAS campus on land owned by Reedy Creek Investments tied to SAS founder Jim Goodnight. Whether that land is donated or sold, that's still in the air. But if you ask me, there's a legacy play brewing here. Governor Josh Stein called it an economic driver. But as a grandfather who's seen sick kids rush to the hospital in the rain, I call it something else. A lifeline. Hey, we're talking world-class care right here at home. And for families in crisis, that's everything. The budget's still being wrangled. Figures like $216 million, $638 million, $2 billion. It's all on the table, but here's the rare thing both sides agree on. This matters, and one day, maybe a child born in that hospital could grow up to run it. And that's the kind of magic that put places like Cary on the map and gives it a heartbeat. So today we saw what hope looks like in borrowed tools, rebuilt gardens, and quiet acts of relief. Hope grows in dirt, in sweat, in second chances, and sometimes in a hospital not even built yet, but already needed. If you enjoyed the podcast today, it's free to subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell someone about it. It'll help me. It'll help you too. And if you get a chance, go over to Apple Podcasts. Give me a 5-star review. If you like it, it'll help spread the word. And that'll help more folks find their way here for their morning dose of good news. Thanks for starting your day with me. I'm Steve, and keep your eyes open today for the good around you. Until next time, see ya.